Hey guys, what's going on? It's your girl Roxy here, and I want to welcome you to today's video. So today I want to direct this conversation to my natural competitors. And this is going to be a two-part video series where we're going to talk about training and nutrition for natural competitors. And the reason why I'm signaling out natural competitors specifically is because I feel like, I have a lot of thoughts right now about how the industry is and the state of the competitive scene for the women. And I feel like a lot of natural athletes out there are looking, especially at the NPC and the IFBB, at these amazing competitors, these amazing bodies, and wondering if they'll ever be able to build their bodies up and to look the way that some of their top competitors look. And I know how frustrating that can feel. And of course, when we're talking about certain aspects of aesthetics, some things are going to be possible for you and some things are just not, simply because of hormonal factors, okay? And if you want to remain natural, there are going to be some limitations on your physique. But that doesn't mean that you can't show up and be your best and play this game and play it without having to resort to steroids. Or, even if you decide to dabble in that, you still have to build your body up to a certain degree before you should even start playing with that. As a side note, I really prefer women to compete as naturally as they possibly can. I'm really not big on steroids and stuff like that. That's a big reason why I stepped out of the sport, because when I saw the way that women's physique and even figure started to evolve, I just knew that there wasn't a place for me any longer. So before I go into this video, and I don't want any of you guys out there that are watching this that are NPC competitors or IFBB pros that are watching this and feeling really badly and thinking I'm putting you down for your choices. That's not it. I just really get a lot of questions from natural competitors who want to know how to build better. So that's what we're going to talk about today. For those of you that are joining me for the very first time, I want to welcome you to my channel. My name is Roxy Beckles. I'm a former IFBB pro and a fitness professional who's been in this industry for over 21 years, a long time, been in this industry since 1997. And I simply love what I do. And what I get to do now is I get to coach women from around the globe. Oh, did my cat just photobomb? They're always video bombing. I get to work with women from around the globe in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and beyond, to help them to rewrite their stories, to change their bodies, to really change their habits, change their eating. For some of them, step on a stage, but for all of them, embrace who they are, love who they are, work on self-love in the process, and do it all through the vehicle of fitness. So let's go ahead and jump right in. So today I want to look at the topic of nutrition for the natural athlete, for the natural competitor. And one of the things that's going to be really important, an important driving factor for all competitors, no matter what the heck you're taking, whether you're clean or not, is your diet. That's going to drive everything for you. And I feel like for a lot of competitors, that's where they're hurting the most, And when you are in a contest prep phase, a lot of you tend to eat very few calories, very, very little. You're being very aggressive with the diet. And of course, you do need to be in a caloric deficit, but at the same time, you have to be very careful about how you set up your diet, because you don't want to lose muscle. See, the game of competing isn't about how much weight you can lose, and it's not like the biggest loser, skinniest, chase the frickin' scale type of thing. It's really all about preserving as much lean muscle as you can as you get leaner. And that's the trick of it all, And you start cutting your calories too low. You start pushing out on that cardio really hard. You start overtraining yourself. That's when you start coming in looking stringy and small, and your energy levels go through the floor, and it's just crazy, okay? And it can also set you up for some serious hormonal issues down the line and rebounding, particularly after the show when you get back to normal. So for those of you that are in a dieting phase, and I'm going to talk about lean building in a bit, let's talk about the dieting phase. Don't cut your calories too low, particularly starting out. Make sure that, I always say that before you even embark on a contest prep diet, that you make sure that your diet is optimized for you, for your maintenance levels, to start your calories super high. And train in your off season, because your diet, the contest prep, starts in your off season. It doesn't start the moment that you decide that, oh, it's 12 weeks out, it's time to get ready for a show. No, it starts in your off season. So optimizing your diet during the off season time is so important. You want to get your calories up really super high, like well above 2,000 if you can. And if you're training consistently, you're training really hard, and you're trying to keep yourself in a good amount of conditioning, even in your off season, eating 2,000 calories and up per day for any of you should not be a hard deal. Even for like my little small, little bit tiny, 4'9" competitors, okay? Like, get your calories up. I mean, maybe for you, eating 2,000 calories a day is a bit excessive. Like, you need maybe about 1,800 to 1,900 because you're so tiny and small and cute. I know you hate me for that if you're short and I'm saying this, I'm sorry. But you get what I mean. You know what I mean? But if you're someone who's like me, like you're like nearly 5'7" and over, you have a bunch of muscle, you're training like a beast, you're going into the gym, you're working out, you're living your life, you're going to work, you're doing all these things, you need a lot of food, And so if you're starting your diet around 2,000, 2,200, 2,400, 2,600, depending on your stature, if you're starting a diet there, that's far easier for you and far more optimized for you than starting your diet at 1,800, 1,500 calories at 12 weeks out. Where do you go from there? How do you cut from there, right? It's the law of diminishing returns. So you have to think about that when you are embarking on your plan. Now, the next thing that I want to say in the dieting phase particularly is that you want to make sure that you are keeping enough protein in your diet as well, because protein is what is muscle sparing. Do not cut your protein too low. In general, like, you want to eat about 1 pound per body weight. 1 pound, let's say that again. You want to eat 1 gram per pound of body weight. So if you're about 145 pounds, about 145 grams of protein in your diet in the dieting phase is absolutely perfect. And that's actually well above what the USDA or the RDA, it's the USDA, it's well above what the recommended daily allowances, the RDA is for protein for the average person. For the average person, it's about 0.8 times your body weight, I believe, in kilograms. So you do that math and your jaw is going to drop the floor like, oh my God, so little protein. And, so we eat a surplus of protein in the fitness world. But keeping that high in the dieting phase is what actually helps you hold on to that muscle. And also it helps to blunt hunger along the way, which is really important in trying to stay in control of your appetite and not like eat everything in sight. You know what I mean? The next thing I would say also for those of you that are competing is to look at your macros, but don't get obsessed about fads. That's what I'll say. So many people, they're like, oh, we got to do like super low carb and keto and got to do this and do that. And everybody's body is so different. If you have a higher metabolism, I find that actually my clients who have higher metabolisms need more carbohydrates in their diet. So like cutting their carbs super low doesn't always serve them. Whereas if I have a client who has a more stubborn body, like they're more like ectomorphic and they just really hold body fat a lot better in their bodies. Their bodies are really good at holding that body fat. Those type of clients usually do better on a more keto type of plan or just low carbohydrates. And everyone seems to really do well with carb cycling, which to me is important because we start carb cycling around 8 to 10 weeks out with my clients, because every week that you do that, you're setting up your actual peak week and how you're going to carb load and how you're going to manipulate things. So you get to like kind of like try that out the entire prep. So those are some tips that I would say when you're in the contest prep phase that are really helpful for you in trying to get to your goal, preserve your muscle, really keep yourself hormonally sound. When it comes to cutting your calories, you don't have to cut your calories every single week. Start off with like a 250 to 500 calorie deficit. And then the rest of your deficit is going to come from your training. And if you start there, you see how your body responds. If you're losing fat and the scale is moving, your measurements are moving, you're looking leaner from week to week, sail in on that diet. Don't change it up. You change it up when your body dictates that you need it. So really pay attention to your biofeedback. Now, let's talk about lean building for you guys. So you've got to eat. Okay, you've got to eat, and you can't be afraid of upping your calories. And that's the thing about competing. it can be like a little bit of a mind game, you know, because you get so used to being in these phases of dieting and just being lean all the time, you know, leading into your show. And if you're doing several shows in a season, you get used to seeing yourself ripped up and shredded. So when it's time for you to get back to normal, it like really plays mind games on you. So first and foremost, you've got to get your head together. Like when you're deciding that I'm going to take a break, I'm going to build my body, I want to put on some muscle, you've got to be okay with putting on some weight and not seeing the extreme definition that you may have been used to seeing. So in that respect, after your show is done, reverse diet. You know, every 2 weeks or so, add another 200 to 250 calories on there until you reach your maintenance levels. Hang out there for a while. Continue to train. And then when you're ready to go into some lean building and put on some muscle, change your shape, then you can go ahead and bump those calories up into a surplus. And usually about a good like 5, 10, or 15% above your maintenance is perfect for building up the body. You don't need a whole bunch of food and calories. You know, I'm not telling you to gorge yourself, but you do have to eat more. I would also say in your off season, this is where you can utilize those carbohydrates because, you know, carbs get such a bad rap in the fitness industry, particularly in the bodybuilding world. But carbs are an essential macro when it comes to building muscle. All right. It's actually really important. Okay. So you don't want to find yourself always being in a low carb state. You want to kind of push that and use that tactic and tool for when you need it and pulling out the toolbox for fat loss. You know, so up your calories a bit, of course, up your carbohydrates, keep your protein still. You don't need excessive amounts of protein, about 1 to 1.25, 1 to 1.25, let's see it again. What is that? Okay, I'm messing this up. So 1 gram per pound of body weight, or 1.25 grams per 1 pound of body weight for your protein. Okay, Jesus, Roxy, say that 3 times fast. Anyway, I'm not cutting this because I want this to flow like we're having a conversation. You know, I want my videos to be like super relatable for you guys. I don't want them to be super mass produced. A lot of it's because I'm just so lazy right now, and I have a lot of other things to do with my life, like take care of my clients and do stuff that I have to do. So we ain't cutting this. Okay, we ain't cutting this. So yeah. Getting back to the topic. So supplements, I'll save that for another video. Like I'm not really huge on certain supplements that people take, but I am actually expanding my understanding and knowledge a lot more of supplements. Like there was a point where I like completely dismissed them. And a lot of it had to do with the fact that there's some research that says that, you know, you get everything that you need from your diet. But here's the thing, we're not all eating a balanced diet, point blank, period, the end. So if your diet is not balanced and you're not really adding the food variety that you need, or you know you're not eating a lot of fruits and vegetables or whatever, you could well be deficient. You know, if you have malabsorption issues in your body, well, that's a whole other topic, honey. You're not going to be getting everything that you need. So I think that supplementation is important, but I'm not talking about the voodoo magic trick stuff. I'm talking about looking at vitamins, minerals, probiotics, prebiotics, digestive enzymes, you know, things like that are helpful for you in maintaining your general overall health as you get older. So that's another video. But yeah, so in lean building, keep those calories high. Start off reverse dieting out of your show, go for maintenance for a couple of weeks, and then start to build up a slow surplus. About, you know, anywhere between 5 to 15% above maintenance is plenty. Make sure you're in the gym, you're training. You don't have to train every day. I think 5 days a week is great. I'll go ahead and talk about training in another video, but you want to do things that are going to support your goals, because the driving factor for everything that you want to do, whether you're a natural competitor or not, is always going to be your nutrition. So if there's anything that's going on with your body, look there first, see what holes need to be plugged up, and then you can take a look at your training. Okay. I hope that this video was really super helpful for you. Listen, if you liked it, give it a thumbs up right now, okay? And if you're not subscribed, click the subscribe button and hit the bell notification so that way when I release new videos, you don't miss a thing. And if you're watching this right now and you're someone who wants to get ready for a show, or you're thinking about competing, or you might want to just look like you compete but never step on a stage, but you're a woman who's ready to change her body, change her life, and do things in a smarter way. But not only that, but you're really interested in getting your mindset together and building up your self-confidence, building up that, sense of knowing who you are, and you understand how your fitness journey is going to be a major part of that. I want to talk to you because I am taking on new clients right now, okay? So go ahead and contact me on my website at rockstarfitness.com/claritycall. That's rockstarfitness.com/claritycall. Fill out the application and set up your appointment. You and I will talk for 30 minutes and just see, do we vibe? You like what I have to say on YouTube or wherever you see me, but will we be the right match to work together? And that's really important. So come on by, talk to me, have a conversation with me. Let's discuss your goals, what it is that you're looking to accomplish, and what's been holding you back. And let's get you over those hurdles. And hopefully I'll be able to help you out in, ushering this new phase in your life and in your body and in your health. Thank you so much for joining me, and I can't wait to connect with you soon. Bye.